science reacted to Christianity essentially by saying, we don't believe you, we're not going to be ruled by blind faith, we're going to study matter. But the knowledge of matter and the study of matter had been going on in Bharat in India for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so what we now call science was part of the pillage that was taken from this ancient civilization that was based on science. And both of the religions that we know of as religions, both Islam and Christianity, all burned libraries. If you see someone burning libraries, they don't like knowledge. Namaste, and welcome to Vedic Vidya. My name is Jeffrey Armstrong, Kavindra Rishi. Vedic Vidya is available exclusively on Citti Media, English channel, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. IST. Our topic tonight is why the truths of Jyotish, or Vedic Astrology, have been ignored by materialistic science, or how karma as cause and effect unfolds over many lifetimes. I hope you listened to our previous show, because each show will give you Sanskrit words and concepts that we'll build upon from show to show. It's necessary to do this because having a Sanskrit vocabulary allows us to talk about the culture of India, of Bharat, the Vedic culture, with accuracy on its own terms. And of course, this is one of the things that has accompanied colonization. It's a twisting of language, a refusal to use Sanskrit, an uprooting of the origins of Sanskrit, which far predate the Greek culture and the Latin culture, and certainly the European cultures. At least 60% of European cultures have Sanskrit and not Latin and Greek at their root. But all of this has been obscured. So now, today we're going to talk about something a little bit like that. It requires a broad-minded view because it is the subject of time going through space, or of light traveling in darkness, or of us, we who are immortal beings, known as what? Now you should be saying the Atma, A-T-M-A. The Atma. We are the indestructible being who is from Brahman, from another realm that is luminous, conscious, immortal, and we have journeyed to Prakriti, Prakriti, the place where everything is built up out of particles of a substance that is unconscious. In fact, just meditate for a moment right now. Just breathe slowly, put the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Breathe in, hold it for a few, let it out softly. Now envision yourself as the consciousness at the center of your body, and that you are just like a little solar system. Each one of us is being orbited by particles of matter. You call it your body, but it's also called your mental faculties. Whatever matter is a part of your entourage, your Highness, your Majesty, you, the Atma, are just like the sun is to our solar system. All of the planets bow to it, go around it in circles. For us, the sun rises, we honor it, bow to it, we're happy. It goes away, we put up with the dark, we sleep. So, your Atma, everyone's Atma, the part we say Namaste to, is actually an immortal being who, once we come to this realm, keep changing the covering that is orbiting us. We change our body. again and again and again and again and again. There's a better word for that even than reincarnation, which means getting back in the meat again, although that one's rather humorous. Jumping back into the carne, because carnival, I guess it makes this a little bit like a side of beef show or a meat show and a carnival, but it's a little crass and not as elegant as the Sanskrit term, which is samsara. Samsara means swimming together. Sam is together and Sara is swimming. So think of matter, the stuff all around us, this unconscious substance, as an ocean. And we're the Atma and we're swimming through it. This is the Vedic worldview. Now, you won't hear this from modern science. I like to call modern science the runaway abused child from the medieval Catholic Church. The Catholic Church only believes in one lifetime. Other religions too, but we'll just beat up on the Catholics right now. They deserve it. After all, they went out and pillaged the whole world. Never should have done that in the name of Jesus, by the way. So anyway, back to our discussion. Science reacted to Christianity essentially by saying, we don't believe you, we're not going to be ruled by blind faith, we're going to study matter. But the knowledge of matter and the study of matter had been going on in Bharat, in India, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And there was a medical system that had both surgical texts and medical texts, and there was astronomy and architecture beyond anything that has been seen since. And so what we now call science was part of the pillage that was taken from this ancient civilization that was based on science. But science hadn't divorced self-awareness and the understanding of who we really are. You could say, in the ancient Vedic culture, science and philosophy were best friends. Then philosophy was co-opted by blind faith religion, Catholic Church. Then they did things in the name of Jesus that would make Jesus very upset. Went out and raped and pillaged and did horrible things. Jesus is going, no, 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 this is not what I meant. But those two split, and no one has really talked to us about this more global, broader-minded worldview. And this is, you've heard this word, but you thought it was a person, Mahatma, Mahatma. It wasn't invented by so-called Mahatma Gandhi, who was a politician more than he was a yogi, and who had some pluses and some minuses, but ultimately he misled everyone by teaching them that India is a culture of non-violence, which is absurd. The word is ahimsa, and ahimsa means doing the least violence while cooperating with the laws of nature. Now back to what we're talking about right now. As soon as you know that you're the Atma, that you're an immortal being, and that you're by samsara swimming forward through matter from life to life, then each time we return, every time this birthing ritual takes place and we enter another vehicle, then we have simply come back because we're still here learning. But in Vedic science, this was the premise of the science. It never got rejected. There was never a quarrel between blind faith and science in Bharat, in India. That took place only in places where people were manipulating knowledge for selfish or lesser or more confused purposes. And in that, I have a degree in comparative religion. I can tell you that religions have fragments of a broken up library, and both of the religions that we know of as religions, both Islam and Christianity, all burned libraries. If you see someone burning libraries, they don't like knowledge. And so, of course, knowledge later on didn't like them because they were library burners. Our civilization is strung between blind faith religion and blind faith science, as if science has authority. Why? Because religion claimed to have authority, dominance even. So interestingly enough, modern science talks like it's a pope or a cardinal, or like, my science is correct and your way of seeing things is wrong. The only truth is how things work. Well, yes, if you follow it to its logical conclusion, which is, what is the intelligence behind them and how do you cooperate with them instead of exploit with your knowledge? So this is the equation that we're talking about today, which is called Jyotish, Vedic Astrology. It is the science of light over time, and it's the science of all of us going through the university of matter from grade to grade through getting another body. And what do you think comes with us? Well, as soon as we're human, we have free will. As soon as we have free will, we can do a really great job of messing up. You don't see animals having revolutions and colonizing whole civilizations in the way that we've done. So with our extra intelligence, we've done horrific things when we could have done wonderful things. I'm still hoping we do wonderful things, personally. That's why I'm pointing this out. So, change your worldview from one lifetime only, which is both modern science and Christianity and Islam and Judaism, for that matter. You have to change that worldview to understand where astrology would be logical. Because if you're collecting experience from life to life, as soon as you become a human, you're also collecting the results of what you did on purpose. Now, karma means all cause and effect, all responses to the laws of nature. So that means if you drop something, it falls. But the karma is immediate. The reaction's immediate. But what about purposeful activity conducted by beings like us, humans? We Bhumi beings, we children of the earth, are responsible to the laws of nature. So, whatever you do as a human in one lifetime, using your free will to choose amongst the possibilities, that is called karma. You've opened an account with any of the persons you've interacted with, and the things you've put in motion will not go away because you change bodies. They will simply follow you to your next body because they follow you and you are not the body. Remember the word? You're the Atma, the atomic particle. Atomic is Latin, it's atomi, you can't cut it. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says you can't cut the Atma, you can't wet it, you can't blow it away, you can't divide it, you can't break it, you can't get rid of it. It's immortal. So the Vedic viewpoint is we're immortal beings here in a journey through matter, prakriti, the place where cause and effect rules. So cause and effect is just called kri. Or when you make it into a word, it's karma. What goes around comes around, right? Boomerang comes back. We all know you couldn't do anything if you didn't believe in cause and effect and know that there was a predictable result. So what if the whole system, which is what we are not thinking about in Western civilization or Western religion or Western science, what if the whole cosmos is designed by intelligence, and that intelligence is purposeful, like us, or we're like that, and so Jyotish is just like the speed of light in relativity, relative to matter and its unconscious nature. Space, time, light over time, through space. The starlight that's reaching us now started quite a long time ago. So in the midst of that, the thing to understand is volitional beings accumulate cause and effect, and it goes with them into their next life, and it's embedded in their body. And the moment of birth, the placement of the stars and planets indicates, they don't cause the karma, they indicate the delivery schedule. I've made up a term for this to help a little bit. Just imagine that all those parcels of karma that you've earned in previous lives that have never come back to you, but should, because it's only fair, isn't it? I mean, if cause and effect works, it should work over time, or you get cheated. Do you see? So, those parcels are on their way. And when they land, and you say, where did that come from? A check for $1 million, or an automobile accident, or a something. There's two possibilities. Someone just opened a new account, or you just got paid for an old one. In other words, at any time, we have cause and effect we've created in the past, which is making its way toward us, and the planets as they move in the stars are the timing of the delivery schedule. They're called grahas. The word gravity comes from that Sanskrit word. It means to grab. The grahas have got a hold of us, and they are what I call UPS, Universal Parcel System. They deliver the parcels of cause and effect that are the logical and cosmological result of what we did in previous lives, or this life, but especially previous lives, assuming that we've had several, hundreds, maybe thousands of even human lives. But remember, we went right up through all the species. The Vedas says it's about 4,800,000 species, 800,000 humans, and 400,000 of the rest. So think of them as classrooms. Each classroom you went up, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. Why classrooms? Well, because everybody is a design by some divine intelligence which designed that body. Have you ever looked at a butterfly and wondered who designed that? We have so many things around us now that were created by clever humans using the laws of nature, even the technology we're communicating with right now. But isn't a butterfly an amazing device, flooding around and eating flowers and looking so beautiful and interesting and light as a feather, lighter? And it flutters and flies. Look at hummingbirds. They're test pilots and in a bird's body. But inside there's an Atma. Inside each one of those, every butterfly is an Atma. And you, my friends, all did butterfly body. You did butterfly 401 before you did human. And hummingbird and every other bird and every other creature, because that's what we're here for. And if you don't believe that, then you can just believe in one lifetime and be content. Well, but don't plan for a future because you don't have one. And those one lifetime religions didn't tell you anything about where you come from, what you did that was so horrible that got you here. So what they're not focused on is the science of cause and effect, otherwise known as astrology, which is cause and effect in light and over time. No one's told you this, have they? Because colonization was all about stealing the things that don't contradict the cultural assumptions of the colonizing countries. So Europe, America, everyone who went out and stole everything did not want a many lifetime worldview to be discussed, and they didn't want it spoken. And so it's not in our English vocabulary. This Jyotish, this science of light, is something that I've been studying and practicing for 50 years. It's so profound. It gives you a Mahatma's perspective. You see everyone as the Atma. You see them accumulating cause and effect by everything they do. You see them opening a new account with someone. You see that we're all inside of a profound, amazing mechanism that is facilitating our use of free will until finally as humans, it's just us and what we do and what's done to us. And then those make a formula, and from life to life, that is now along with our free will. Do you see it? That's Jyotish, the science of light across time for Atmas or immortal beings living in the university, and the planets are UPS. They're the parcel system, so that all of this is fair after all. It's got to be fair also. So, what goes around comes around. Vedic Vidya means shining the light of truth. Tune in to Vedic Vidya on the Citti Media English channel on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. IST. My name is Govinda Rishi, or Jeffrey Armstrong. I'll see you next time, and have a Namaste.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.